What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Daily here from Steam First, and today I have a review for you for Vector Thrust. Vector Thrust is a aerial combat arcade style game featuring a lot of similar things to Ace Combat for the original PlayStation. Anybody that plays that game or has played it knows that that is probably one of the coolest aerial combat games on the PlayStation, and it has quite a few sequels. This game feels very, very similar to that, but with its own unique style. The main difference being the pixel shaded art and the stylized aircraft that you see in the game. Now, overall, the game is quite fun. It has a ton of different game modes, from skirmish to the campaign to different battle scenarios to challenge mode, multiplayer, all sorts of different modes for you to play and to try out these different planes and over different locations as well. Some of the upfront things that you see you're really going to like. It has that really good feeling when you're flying through the air. The speeds all seem localized, so you don't feel like you're going faster or slower than anybody. It really feels like everything in that genre is very balanced in terms of the arcadey style shooting elements. Now, some of the things that we're going to go ahead and point out right off the bat is this game is in beta, so that needs to be a disclaimer out there. There's still improvements coming to the game, but the review that I'm doing for you today is as is in this beta version. Now, one of the first things that I'll start off by saying is the campaign is quite long. It is fun. It's got varied types of missions, from air-to-air combat to air-to-ground, and then a mix of the in-betweens, as well as some formation flying and things like that, flying with AI partners and stuff of that nature. However, there is no voice acting, at least there isn't currently, so everything you have to read, and it really comes up quickly and then disappears quickly. So you really have got to be on your point, or you're going to miss the instructions. And then if you miss the instructions, it's going to take you a minute to figure out what you have to do. Granted, there are marks on the radar and you can see the objectives list, but it's not as detailed and as fine-tuned as maybe it should be. But as I said, it being in the beta version, there's probably still changes coming to that kind of thing. Don't know if they're going to add voice acting or not. Let's talk about the planes of the game, the airplanes. There are quite a few different variations of aircraft, from real life to the the imaginative, and most of them look very, very cool. The pixel art and the shaded pixels and all that kind of stuff, the stylized planes where you can see like outlines, like they're hand drawn or something like that. They look really, really cool. One of my favorites was the A-10. I saw an A-10 in the game, and it had this really cool green camo pattern on it with the shark mouth or alligator mouth, whatever you call it, and it just looked badass. I really, really liked it. There was a couple planes in there that don't have necessarily probably the color scheme that you'd see in their real life counterparts, but there was a black and orange jet in there, and it just looked awesome, and it was really cool and fun to fly that thing around. Let me tell you, there's not a ton of aircraft in the game. There's quite a few, but there's not a ton. I would have maybe liked to see more aircraft, more variations of the aircraft, and the customization, while there, it's again, it's kind of bland. You can just change out certain things and repaint this and that. It's nothing too in-depth, as I would like to see. A lot of these indie games nowadays, they're being held to a higher standard because it's a lot easier to do an indie game nowadays with crowdfunding and stuff like that. Expect to have a little bit more in our indie games than some of them are currently giving. However, again, disclaimer out there that this is still the beta, so there could be more aircraft coming, there could be more customization options coming as well. And let's move on to the next feature that I didn't really like, and that was the sounds. The sounds are very, very lackluster in this game. They don't sound like like jets. They've got a kind of low roar. The music sometimes overplays the jets, and the music doesn't, to me, it doesn't really fit. It's more classical style, like symphony orchestra type stuff, and I would have liked to see maybe like the Ace Combat games, a little more heavier, maybe in the guitar sections and stuff like that. I would like to see that kind of stuff because it builds the moods and it builds the atmosphere of being a fighter pilot. I can understand what they're going for with the classical feel, but just for my preferences, the sounds, at least in the music department, were lackluster in my opinion. Now, It is a fact that the sounds in the game, however, are not that good. The guns don't sound good. The missiles don't sound that good. It doesn't give that oomph or impact when you're shot. Stuff like that really needs to be tweaked and worked on. I know there's plenty of places out there where these companies could get, high quality sounds for this kind of stuff. There's royalty-free stuff everywhere. With that said, those are kind of the negative features of the game. The game, however, despite all of that, is fun. I had quite a few friends over to play it. They all enjoyed it. I've played it myself for quite some time now, and you can see here the combat. It's fun. It's fun to just plop down some enemies, go in there and shoot them all up. Or if you're interested in the campaign, it's got a story-driven campaign that you can go play and unlock a progression of new vehicles or planes, whatever you want to call them, in that respect. So, overall, you're getting a lot of content with this game. It is quite polished. There were a couple minor issues with the view switching. I really hope they add a cockpit view in the future. I would really love to see a cockpit view more than just the front HUD display as like a first-person view mode. I'd like to see the inside of the aircraft and whatnot. Overall, is this game worth the price? I would say yes. If you're into this kind of game and you've been dying to play something kind of similar to Ace Combat, this is going to be perfect for you. There's nothing out there like it currently, and it kind of fills a gap in that niche part of the market that's looking for games like this, and they're just not there. So yeah, if you want to pick up Vector Thrust, you should definitely do that. It was just on sale. By the time this video goes out, it may not be on sale anymore, but stay tuned, check it out. It is worth the asking price, even if it's not on sale, if you're looking for this kind of game. Now, if you're looking for a combat simulator, this is not for you. You'd be much better off going with DCS World or something like that. This game is for the arcadey Ace Combat style of aerial combat, and that's just, all there is to it. So, overall, what are we going to score Vector Thrust? What does it deserve? What has it earned with the amount of content that you get for the price that you pay? We're going to give this game a solid 3 out of 5. It does have some work to be done, but to score a 3 out of 5 in the beta version is very good, so hats off to you developers. I really hope you fix up some of the sounds, add some more immersiveness to maybe the cockpit, and work on like the customization of the planes and stuff like that. If you guys can take those pointers, I guarantee you this game is going to be a big hit, and we look forward to seeing you guys here on the next review over at Steam First. We'll see you next time, guys.